Hey Maximizers, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Crystal. I am a coupon coach and I'm here to help you shop with a purpose to make progress on your big financial goals. And today's video is why you need a budget. I know you're probably thinking, Crystal, do I need a budget? I think I got a budget. I think I got it all planned out. Why do I really need it? We're going to cover all the nitty-gritty details of that today. This video is sponsored by the Flooz app. Flooz is an instant cashback app where you earn that cashback when you purchase a gift card. You can earn between 1% all the way up to 35% cashback by using this app. When you join, they give you 3 35% cashback offers that you can use at various retailers. Now, the way you use Flooz is you download the app, you put in your form of payment, so whatever credit or debit card you usually swipe at the register, and then you go through the app. There's over 300 retailers. You pick your store, you purchase your gift card, then you use that gift card at the register or online when you check out. But the cash back you earn, you can either use that to buy another gift card or cash it out to cold hard cash in PayPal and buy whatever you want with it. So if you like earning free cash back like me, stop what you're doing, download the Flooz app and use my referral code Maximizer21 to get started earning your free cash back today. All right, why do we need a budget? I know when people hear the word budget, they're like, but it's my money. I want to spend it how I want. You can't tell me I can't spend my money. And that is not what a budget is. When you hear budget, I want you to think of intention. I want you to think of strategy. I want you to think of the best use of your money. You're giving every dollar a place. You know what you're doing with your money. A budget is there to make sure that you are on track with your financial goals and you're using your money in the best way possible. So a budget is there to help you, not hurt you. Of course, you can spend your money however you want because you earned it. But you also need to make sure that you are using your money in the best way possible so you don't end up broke in a ton of debt because you didn't manage it right. Okay. Now, before we even get started with the rest of the tips, I'm going to let you know that I'm hosting a free masterclass. Tips to create a budget and how to actually stick to it. So the link is in the description box. The class is going to be on February 17th. Make sure you go and sign up for it. I'm going to be going through all the things to set up a budget and giving you some tips, tricks, and techniques to actually stick to said budget. Now, why you actually need that budget. First off, we need to talk about money. Okay? Money has been such a taboo topic in society. We need to talk about money. We need to talk about our salaries. We need to talk about stocks. We need to talk about investments. We need to talk about retirement. We need to talk about all the things, credit. We need to talk about all the things that revolve around money because for so many generations, parents have been like, don't talk about your money. Don't tell anybody your salary. Don't ask me how much money I make. Like, it's been such a taboo and quiet, and only if you know, and if you don't, you're SOL, right? We need to be having a more open conversation about money. So have a budget. You want to be actually looking at your money. Have that conversation with yourself. Have that conversation with your spouse. Have that conversation with your kids. You don't necessarily have to show your kids this is how much the mortgage is and this is how much we pay every month. But your kids should start to be money conscious when you let them know, okay, we have a grocery budget. When we go to the grocery store, it's not everything you want to buy gets thrown into the cart. We have $500 every month. So each time we go to the grocery store, we only have $125. So we need to get the things that are most important and the things we need to most, not all the cookies and candies and snacks that you can fill up with the cart. So you need to be having more of an open conversation with your family, with your spouse about the way that you intend to use your money. Because as a society, we have got to do better about that. And the only way we can do better as a society is if we do it at home. But we need to be having money conversations. We need to be talking about how to build wealth, ways to build wealth, how to get these tax cuts. Because the tax cuts are available from the government. How do we get in on them? We need to be having these conversations about money. So having a budget will get that conversation started with you and your family. A budget will allow you to know what money is coming in and what money is going out. So I'm going to tell you a story about one of my SWAT maximizers in my membership community. So me and her were working on her budget together. And I think it was our second call. And she said, Crystal, I didn't realize every time me and my husband go out, I buy a Coke. And I'm like, okay. But she was like, I wasn't writing that down in my budget. We're on a fixed income. We're paycheck to paycheck. And we come under every single month. But what I realized is I'm spending $8 to $10 every week on soda, but I wasn't writing that down. So there's $40 to $50 per month that she's actually spending from her bank account that she's not writing down. That $50 is huge for someone that's on a fixed income. So what I had to back up with her and say is go through your bank account. Don't just go off your memory. Go through your bank account and see where have you swiped your card. What did you buy? And it just showed her that there are things that you have not budgeted for that you unconsciously spend your money on, and you just have to be better about that. So I said, if you still want to buy soda when you guys go out, that's great, but you need to allocate it. And she was like, no, I don't want to spend $50 a month on soda. I'm going to give myself once a week, buy a soda, and then I'm going to buy cases of soda for when I want to drink them at home. And then you know what, Crystal? I don't really want to be drinking soda anymore anyway. I want to get a little bit healthier. And I'm like, perfect. So now she reduced that $50 down to like, I don't know, $10 a month when she wants to treat herself to a good beverage. But I told you that story to say there are things that you unconsciously spend your money on. So when you have a budget, it'll make you more aware of what budget is this coming from when I go to swipe my card. If I'm eating out, if I'm treating myself, where is this money coming from? If I'm getting my nails done, what part of my budget is that in? If I'm going out to buy a new pair of shoes, what area of my budget is that coming from? You need to know what's coming in and what's going out so you can ask yourself the question, is this the best use of my money? Is this what I want to do with my money? Because there are some days where I'm like, I just want to go and eat all the crabs in the world. I just want to go and buy a smoothie. But it's not the best use of my money because I have fruit in the freezer, right? And I've eaten so many crabs. I haven't had any in a long time, almost a month. It's a record. But I'm setting up milestones for when I can treat myself. So on my birthday, I am going to pig out on crabs like nobody's business. And to combat myself being able to buy smoothies and small things, I give myself about $50 a month of fun monies. And with this fun monies, I can eat out, I can buy a smoothie, I can buy something for myself from Amazon, but I know that I only have $50, so I'm more intentional about spending it. Because there was once upon a time where I ate out a MacBook. In 5 months, I ate out like $2,000. It was disgusting, it was sickening, it made my stomach hurt because I was unconsciously spending money. I had a budget on paper. It was all pretty. And in the masterclass, I'm going to talk to you guys about how you can not just have a pretty on paper budget, actually an intentional budget and a budget that you actually follow. And I was like, I got a budget. What am I doing? I was just unconsciously spending like nobody's business. And I stopped doing that immediately. And I put these things into place so that way I know what my budget is and I know what my limits are and I know how much I can spend. Why? Because my big financial goal is to buy a house. And to buy a house, I need to pay off my credit card debt. And to pay off my credit card debt, I need to be more intentional with my money so that I can snowball and avalanche as much extra money to my debt. Buying that new house is more important to me than eating crabs every week. Buying that new house is more important to me than buying smoothies or ordering stuff randomly from Amazon that I see on TikTok. So really knowing where your numbers are will bring you to my next tip, which allows you to be intentional with your money. We all have big financial goals. We all have things that we want to do with our money. And you need to have a talk with yourself and say, is this instant gratification worth it? Or do I want to continue to work towards my big goal? All right. And notice, like I said, when you in the masterclass, I'll talk about you need to allow yourself some sort of fun money, some sort of treat to yourself every month. But you don't have to treat yourself to $500 every month. Can you cut that back to $100? Can you cut that back to $75? Because you have to think with the end in mind, which is your big financial goal. So knowing your budget, having a budget, you need a budget in order to stay on track. Because otherwise, you just swipe happy and you're not being intentional and using your money in the best way possible. I touched on this, but you won't be wasteful like me. I literally pooped out $2,000 and it made my stomach hurt. I am all for treating myself, but that was excessive and that was overboard and that was pure laziness. That was before I had my meal plan tight. I was also working a full-time job, running a YouTube channel, being someone's mother. It was a lot. I had a lot going on, but that's no excuse for me being that lazy and spending that much money eating out. It made my stomach hurt. And I'm like, not again. It won't happen. I ain't doing it. No way, Jose. Because there's no reason why I wasn't able to go and buy a MacBook in cash, but instead I flushed it down the toilet. I wasted that money. Now, we can never go back and get that money back. I've already come to terms with it, but I tell that story because I want you to know I feel your pain. I know what it feels like to say, I worked hard for this. I want to do what I want. Great. But if you also want to go on vacation, is it better for you to eat out once a month and ball out on vacation, or eat out every week and have to eat out on a baby budget on vacation? No, I want to ball out on vacation. So until we increase our income anymore, we're going to work with the money that we have. I'm going to eat out once a month. And then when we go on vacation, we'll eat out every day, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, because we saved for it. We were intentional with our money. We didn't waste it. Then lastly, probably one of the most important things is you're going to be prepared for all kinds of things. Emergencies, pandemics, you'll have a savings account. Maybe you have some money towards retirement. You can pay off your debt. Like, if you're constantly being intentional with your money and you're saving for the things that matter most to you, if, God forbid, something crazy happens like a pandemic, you will have money saved up. Members of my Shop with a Purpose Maximizer Academy were saving for things like vacation. They were saving for future travel. They were saving for their retirement. They were saving just to have an emergency fund. So when the pandemic hit, it wasn't as hard of a shock because, one, they had a stockpile, and two, they had money saved. So although their vacation got canceled, they had liquid cash to cover them in the event that them or their spouse lost their job, which did happen to some of them, but they were able to use the money that they had been saving for the whole year before for vacation and for savings to live off of when the pandemic happened. So they weren't scrambling. They weren't freaking out. They were like, I've been intentional with my money. I've built up my stockpile. We are good. So having a budget will allow you to be prepared because you're always preparing in case of an emergency. And if a big life emergency happens, if you got to put that vacation off for 6 months, it's okay. But at least you'll have the money to do it yourself, and you won't have to get a loan or ask anyone else to help you with said emergency. So let's recap these 5 tips again. You need a budget because we need to have those big money financial conversations. You gotta know where your money's coming from and where your money is going so that you can, tip number 3, be intentional as impossible with your money and make it work for you and not against you. You won't be wasteful and look back and be like me and realize that you flushed $2,000 down the toilet, which I'm over it, but it still hurts a little bit. Why number 5 is you'll always be prepared if something psychotic or crazy or another pandemic happens, or we stay in this pandemic longer than we expected, because you're going to have good techniques. You're going to know what's coming in, what's going out. You're going to be able to tweak things around, and you're going to be able to make the most of the money that you already have. So if you've enjoyed these tips, little tricks, little whys you need a budget, and you're convinced that you need a budget, you're ready to create a budget, and you need a little bit of help, come join the Masterclass, Tips to Create a Budget and How to Stick to It. It's happening on February 17th. Just go ahead, click the link in the description box, and I cannot wait to see you there. Just go to krysthemaximizer.com/budget. So I want to thank you guys so much for your love and support. I appreciate each and every one of you. Stay safe out there as you are shopping, and as always, please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.